Welcome back, all of you. So this is what we are going to be covering. What is product management? A bit of history we'll talk about, and first few slides are going to be a bit theoretical, but going forward we'll have more of case studies and things. So you will get a clarity that actually what does a product manager do, and what do you do as a product manager. Okay, we all know what is product. Okay, something that solves a problem is a product. Okay, it can be tangible or intangible. And right now, when we were discussing, just a second, let me put the real numbers here. So when we were discussing, okay, this is what our value was, and this was in context to India. So out of 1.4 billion people, we guessed that 80% of you were using Instagram. But out of 1.4 billion people, 70 million are on Instagram. 60 million were maybe in 2020 or 21, 60 million were on LinkedIn. 200 million people were there on TikTok. Now, can you see the difference? Okay, 70 million. Can you see the difference? It's such a huge. Even if you combine these two, you won't reach this number. Okay, this number is greater than 1 and 2 combined. Okay, so now when you are building your product, what is the idea that I want to share here is that when you are building your product, you have to make sure that where your customers are, you need to understand. Okay, because a lot of time we see, okay, TikTok, we don't like TikTok, TikTok is a bad product. But if your customers are there on TikTok, you will have to go on TikTok to understand your customers. Okay, because when I say that you need to have a business mindset, all I mean is that you need to understand your customers, and to understand your customers you need to spend time around with your customers. This is a very interesting data. This is also the older data of 2021. Uh, None of you had a smartphone less than 7,000 rupees. But as per data, 80% of Indians have smartphone that costs them less than 7,000. Now, let's say if you are building a product, if you're building an application that is too heavy, if that's the entire processing capacity of that phone, the app is heavy, so people having smartphone less than 7,000 won't be able to install that product or application. 80%, because if you've created an app that is too heavy to be installed in an application, in a mobile, okay, you won't be able to target people. That is why you come up with a lighter version. And when I'm speaking of this light version of applications, we'll study this again deeper into jobs to be done framework there. Okay, it's a complete case study that we'll try to understand. What percentage of reels are watched without audio on mute? We guess 30%, but 85% of the reels are watched on mute. Now, what is the insight that you get here? Let's say you want to be a content creator. Okay. Now, out of 1.4 billion people, if you are creating a reel, you want to be a content creator, you are creating a reel that does not has subtitle. Would people watch your video? Only, see, 85% of people are watching reels on mute. On mute, that means they want to read subtitles. So if you are creating a content that does not have a subtitle, you are only targeting remaining 15% of the people. So would you be able to be a good content creator? Definitely not. And you might be struggling, okay, why my audience is not growing, why people are not get engaging on my content. It's very simple, because you're only targeting 15% of the people. So in case if you want to target 100% of the people, create a content that is targeting all these 100% people. 15% just video, 85% for them you need to write subtitle. That is why you might see every content creator puts a subtitle in their video. A lot of them are doing on YouTube though automatically also does some AI generated subtitle. But yeah, that eases your process. Ultimately you need a subtitle if you want your videos game to do well. So have you guys understood what do I mean to say from this data? The whole idea of showing this data is that a lot of time what we think is right for a customer may not be right. You might be creating a product and trying to like trying your best to promote it on Instagram, but if your audience, the major chunk of audience is sitting on TikTok, you are wasting a lot of your energy on just Instagram. If you are creating an application, a mobile application that is too heavy to be used on a mobile, you will end up targeting only 20% of the premium customers. Okay. And same goes with the content creation. If you want to be a content creator, you are creating a type of content that does not have subtitle and the necessary things that you people want, you will end up only targeting remaining 20 to 15% of the people. Now, when I say of understanding your customer, what do I mean by that? It's a good example. Can you all tell me? You clearly can understand that these are parents, okay, and they have brought this toy for their kid. Okay, now tell me, is the child guess? It's a guess. Is the child loving the product? Is the child loving this toy? Just tell me, is the child loving this toy? Anyone?
No, sir.
Why? Sashut, why is he not loving?
No reaction in his face. That's why I guess.
Okay, but there's
Yeah.
a trick. Use your mind as a product manager or maybe an engineer. Why this child is loving? If like you might say that okay, the child is loving. You might come up with your answer that okay, is not loving. And also you can see there's this music, there's this speaker. You can see there's some song or something playing here. So if you say that okay, the child is enjoying the product, why is he enjoying? And if he's not enjoying, why is he not enjoying? Parents are thinking that okay, the child is enjoying the product, but this is an elephant. This is maybe a pig, a different version of elephant, a tiger. Parents and we are viewing them. How do you understand that this is an elephant? Because you can see a trunk. You understand this is a pig because of its nose. Again, you understand this is a elephant because of its trunk. You understand this is a tiger because of his look. But what is the view that child is getting? Now the logic is clear, right? Why it is important to understand your customer. Okay, a lot of time what happens, you think okay, my customer will love this, but how do you know that your customer will love it? That is where this word customer empathy comes. Okay, that is where you will need to talk to your customer. Okay, you need to talk to customer, you need to understand them, and you understand them, then only you will be able to build a great product for them. So this is the real life incidents. Okay, I went to make my trip office in Gurgaon, and I went in a meeting room there. This picture is not real, but the concept is real. Okay, so when I went in the meeting room, so there was uh, this different colored chair kept there. Okay, now when we entered, so we thought, okay, maybe this chair came by mistake. Then one of the team members was trying to remove that chair. So somebody told, no, let this chair be kept in the meeting room. Okay. So everyone was confused that, okay, maybe the CEO of the company would sit on this chair or whatever. So can you guys guess what this chair is for? This chair, nobody is going to sit on this chair. Nobody will sit. Neither the CEO, neither the product head. Nobody is going to sit. And this chair will be left empty. Now, what is the logic of keeping this chair empty? When 10 different people are sitting on different chairs, and when they are taking decisions, they are brainstorming themselves, then at that point of time, like when you are building a product, okay, when you're, let's say you're building this earphone, AirPod, okay, after you've built this product or when you're brainstorming yourself, every time you are going to be taking some decision, okay, this is one of the world's best earphone, you will look at that chair, and that chair is representing customer. You will look at that chair. Will my customer love this product or not? And this chair, like a set of data and things are kept on this chair, that okay, what is the insight that we have from the customer's point of view. Okay, sometimes you may invite a real time customer of your product, and sometimes you just virtually imagine your customer. Okay, so you might be wondering that from the very start of the lecture or the session, every time I'm talking of same thing. Here also I was talking about understanding your customer. Here also I was talking about customer. Again I was talking about customer. So can you understand one thing when again and again I'm saying customer? So do you get the gravity of understanding your customer? Why it is important to understand your customer? The reason to understand your customer very well is because ultimately the success of your product lies in, can you guess? The success of product lies in not having the world's best product, but are people buying that product or not? Okay. So when do people buy the product? When you have made something that people want. That is why it is very important to understand your customer. Then only you will be able to build something that your customers will love or like, and they would love to spend some money for that product. Okay. Slowly, maybe not now, maybe on when we get onto the third session or 4 day session, we'll start doing a lot of research. We'll try to understand what are tear downs, a lot of things. But for now, for 1 or 2 sessions, it's going to be a bit of theoretical. Okay, let's move ahead. So, again, coming back to the basics, who is a product manager? Because as I said in the beginning, that the role of a product manager is not well defined. So that is why even if I have told you the right definition of product manager, a lot of time people will come up with different version of who's a product manager. That is why I'm trying to reiterate every time. And this is a very famous graph or circle by Simon Sinek. He's a very legendary guy. He's an author, writer, psychologist. So he gave this graph, okay? And this is called golden circle. Golden circle is basically used by Apple to market their products, okay? You'll find how Apple uses golden circle to market that product. You can go and study that. It's an interesting topic to understand. Maybe like you can give it a 5 minute read. So, who's a product manager? Okay. So, product manager is somebody who spends a lot of time in understanding what problem to solve. Okay. Product manager is somebody who's good at understanding what problem to solve and why to solve that problem. Getting it? How do you solve it? That is easy. Okay. But the major task is to be able to understand what is the right problem. And that is what we are discussing from the very beginning of the session. That understanding what problem to solve and why to solve that problem. Okay. You may end up saying, okay, this is the problem, that is the problem. You may end up having 100 problems. But why do you address that one particular problem? That is also very important to be understood. Because when you understand why is behind your problem, you understand things in a deeper way. You understand the metrics. So a product manager, this is the definition that I have made. A product manager is someone who excels at providing clear vision to the team regarding what to solve, why to solve of the project, optimizing their approach for how by conducting regular research. So you can take a screenshot of this definition. Somebody asks you in interview. So this is a good definition to just tell them. Okay. All right. Now we'll move ahead. How many of you have seen this orchestra? Okay. This man, if you see his hand, if he's moving his hand, the entire band is playing. As soon as he stops his hand, everybody stops. So the whole sync is just in regards to this conductor. He's known as conductor. So a product manager is more like a conductor in the team. Okay. And you might see the marketing team, engineering team, sales team, finance team. Everybody's out there and he is a product manager. Okay. He's actually not doing a lot of things, but everyone is performing their action, what they need to do and what they need not to do based on the instructions that they're getting from this guy. So he, as a product manager, You may not necessarily code. You may not necessarily run campaigns or marketing things. You may necessarily not go to do sales. Okay. You may not be the one doing accounts and finance, but you will be the one managing all of this. Okay. And to manage all of this, you need to understand all of that. And that is what we'll discuss in what are the necessary skills that a product manager needs. We'll come on to that topic. And definitely, there was this different thing, different one, voice of customer. Definitely, by now you all might have understood that yes, product manager is a voice of customer. Voice of customer, as in he's representing customer within the company. He needs to understand everything about customer. Now, what are the most defining skills of a product manager? What is the most important skill that product managers need? So let's say engineer, engineer, sales. It's a very famous one. I've like you'll find this on YouTube. I've talked about this a lot of time. Let's say finance guy, any other thing, uh, marketing guy, right? So a marketing guy, a marketer would have 100% knowledge on marketing. A finance guy may have 100% of knowledge of finance. An engineer may have 100% of knowledge on engineering. A sales guy might have 100% knowledge on sales. Okay. A sales guy may not know much about finance or marketing or engineering. An engineer may not know a lot of things about finance and marketing. So they might not have cross-functional knowledge regards to different domain. But can you, as a product manager, have 100% knowledge on sales? And definitely no. Can you, as a product manager, have 100% knowledge on engineering? Definitely no. Can you, as a product manager, have 100% knowledge on finance? Definitely no. Can you, as a marketing guy, have 100% knowledge on marketing? Definitely no. So, what is important? You may not have 100% knowledge of everything, but you need to have some knowledge of everything. Because if you don't have some knowledge of everything, you will not be able to lead the teams. Okay. Let's say if you don't understand what do you mean by ROAS. Okay. ROAS is a term used by marketers, which means return on ad spend. Every 10 rupees you're spending, what is the amount you're earning? Okay. Now, if you don't understand this word ROAS, how will you communicate to your marketing team? How will you assign tasks to your marketing team? Okay. If you don't understand basic financial terms, what is P ratio, what is debt, what are the different terms? If you don't understand that, you won't be able to talk to your financial team. Okay. Same goes with engineering. If you don't understand basics of engineering, you won't be able to communicate with the engineering team or the tech team. You need to understand basics of sales. Okay. So as a PM, you may not know 100% things of everything, but when it comes to, let's say, engineering, you need to have some knowledge. Let's say 70% knowledge. Okay. Sales, sales, you need to have some knowledge. Let's say 80%. Finance, you need to have some knowledge. Let's say 60%. Marketing, let's say you need to have 80% of knowledge on that. And similarly, leadership. And similarly, you can have more knowledge on different topics. So if you see here, there is something very interesting. An engineer has 100% knowledge of engineering. A sales guy has 100% knowledge on sales. So people who are from specific domains, they have 100% knowledge on their domain. Okay. But they have more of depth in their subject. Can you see depth is there 100%? This guy has depth. But you as a product manager need to have more breadth in your life. Breadth. Do you see there are two concepts. One is having a depth of knowledge in something, and one is having breadth of knowledge. Okay. So as a product manager, you need to have breadth of knowledge. You see a project manager, different other people's clients, scrum master, and you mix all of this and you get a product manager. Okay. You can take a screenshot of this if you want to post. So you all might have heard of this quotation, Jack of all, master of none. But I have my version of this, Jack of all, master of none. When you can learn all, why go for one? Okay. So product managers are basically generalist, and other domain specific knowledge are people are specialist. So we are product managers are generalist. Okay. We have more of breadth. If you have bigger breadth, you are generalist. If you have depth of knowledge in topic, that is specialist. Now tell me, which is good to have? A breadth or depth? Both are good. Okay. Like, I don't think so. Okay, it's about comparison. Okay, because if you are getting into PhD research, that is the time you need to have a depth of knowledge on something. Okay, because there you as a generalist won't work. So you will have to make a choice that which domain you are going to get into. If you are going to get into something like management background, you need to be generalist, you need to have breadth of knowledge. But if you want to be a researcher, if you want to be a scientist or a professor, you need to have depth of knowledge on something. So this is the Google definition of most defining skill of a PM, and this can be infinite list. Okay, and in this list, this my favorite, personal favorite is empathetic. Empathy is now this empathy is in respect to customers. Empathy is understanding your customers. Okay. Collaborator is also important because, as I said, that you will have to deal with multiple stakeholders. You will have to deal with sales team, marketing team, finance team, UI UX design team. Very important. The most important team that a product manager deals with is a design team. Okay. So you will have to deal with multiple teams. So while dealing with multiple team, you need to be a good collaborator. You need to have a good knowledge of stakeholder management. So stakeholder management is one of the primary skills of a product manager. Again, now this is a bit of theoretical thing that what are the most defining skills? So cognitive empathy, emotive empathy. Now, this is a good question. And the reason why I want to tell you guys how did I get into product management? The reason why I want to tell you how I got into product management is so that you can relate to yourself that is it the same goal that you guys are also aligned with, or do you guys have some different goal? Okay. So my story is very simple. Okay. My story is very simple. So back in college days, I was very good with tech. Okay. And when it comes to tech, specifically, it was embedded and IoT. Okay. So I had built multiple projects and I got two of my projects patented. One research paper was published. I went to India Science Festival. I was winner there. We went to a hackathon in Moscow. Chhatra Vishkarma Award, Parikrama Award, SIH. Like we were winners in multiple things. I was not doing it all alone. We had a team of three people, me, Akash, and Asta. So we were technically very good and we were doing amazing. But at the same time, along with tech, we have this college elections and everything. So back in my college days, I contested for those elections and I was the vice president of my college and student community. I was VP for 2 years. Okay. I had conducted multiple events, college fest. We had spent close to 1.5 to 2 crores in my 3 years of tenure. Okay. So now what do I want to tell you here? See, though I was doing good at tech, I was also doing good with other things of my college days. Okay. It was when it comes to extracurricular activities wherein my more of my management skill and non-tech skills were required. So back in third year, I got placement from Upgrad. So I started working with Upgrad. Now, what happens there is when I started working as an IoT developer, and after some time, I realized I was not enjoying my work. Okay. And when I started figuring out that why I am not enjoying my work, then I figured out ki, okay, there are two special qualities in me. One is the technical skills and one is the managerial skills. When I was working as a developer in IoT, I was utilizing my technical skills, but I was not able to utilize my management skill. Tech skill was doing good, but I was not able to utilize my management skill. And that is where I was feeling left alone. And by then, I had no idea of what product management is all about. And that is when I started researching that how can I get out of this technical skill and get into something wherein I can utilize both of my skill. And then I came across this product management. All right. So next we'll understand decoy effect. So this is, let's say, 100 gram, 200 gram, 500 gram. Okay. And now why they have placed the $6 is they actually want to sell this bucket, but they are creating decoy using this. Okay. So you can study about decoy. I wrote long back on LinkedIn that what decoy effect is all about. Okay. Okay. It's just to hook your customers so that you can upsell them. Now, my favorite question. What is your favorite product and why? So now hierarchies in PM. So to just tell you that today we are just talking about basics of everything around product management. We haven't got into any specific topic yet. And we will get into a topic from next session and we'll start from system thinking. Right now we are just discussing the basics of product management, right? So don't think that okay, we haven't started on something. We have a lot of time to understand a lot of concepts inside product management. Okay. So usually right now at the position that you guys are in, if you want to get into product management, start looking for internships around product management. Start looking for internships wherein you are given a position like product analyst, junior product manager, associate product manager. Usually won't get a title associate product manager in internship, but look for internships that involves product work. Okay. So usually when you work in a company and you start working, so the very first position that you are hired for is a associate product manager, product analyst, or a junior product manager. Then we are all discussing about product management, but product management is just the second position in the hierarchy. Okay. Once you get promoted from a product manager, you become a senior product manager. And companies like Uber, they call PM1, then you get promoted to PM2, then PM3, and then you become a group product manager or a lead product manager. Then goes to director of product, senior director of product, VP and SVP of product. Then the last is just like you have CEO of the company, you have CPO, that is Chief Product Officer of the company. Okay. There are also some new fancy words there. Technical product manager. He specifically is designated to handle the dev team. Then growth product manager, they are more involved into growing the metrics in the company. Then you have PMMs. We heard this word in this meme that I was trying to show in the last session. This session I couldn't show. So that is PMMs. PMMs are responsible for the marketing stuff. Anything and everything related to marketing of the product will come under the PMM, the product marketing manager. Then you have staff PM, distribution PM, and these are not so like so trending, and you'll rarely get to hear these words like product distribution product manager. Product owner is a very common word that you will get to hear, and product owner you will usually find in non-product companies like service-based companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, because they don't have product managers because Wipro itself is a not a product-based company. They outsource work to get it done. So in that case, when you are taking somebody else's work and doing it, in that case, you call the person product owner. Okay. Product management, project management is different. Project management is more of long term. It's deciding the strategy of the project, how it is going to go, what are the things that the long story that you create around a product, that is product manager, and breaking that into smaller chunks so that the team can take tasks and start doing it. That is what a project manager does. Okay. In case if you have any problem, we can discuss this in upcoming sessions. Okay. What is the average salary? So usually, if you are a fresher and going for a very small companies and startups, you will be paid somewhere between 8 LPA to 10 LPA. Okay. And if you are going a established company, you might get up to 14 to 15 LPA as a fresher. Okay. I would highly recommend you all to take a screenshot and buy these books. That's it for today. Bye bye. Good night.